why the North is really scared of the Amotekun creation. This article is written by Karim Itunu Aziz. First, it was the northern youth threatening the newly but regional-based Amotekun, and then some days after, it was Malami making some reckless opinion of his that the Western security network is illegal. But thank God some senior citizens have disregarded its basis. But looking at this from an holistic point of view, what is the fear of northern people? With the level of security or the state of the nation, a sane system should encourage regional development instead of condemn self-growth. The federal government claim that it was unaware of the operations should be questioned quickly and should therefore be understood as another weakness emanating from the center. The Western region and its states are dominantly that which the ruling party at the center is its dominated unit, which therefore signifies there must be some form of communication among these political elites, especially being in the same party. Secondly, we must know that recently the Oni of Ife visited the federal government, and from various gatherings, it was discovered that security was part of the issue being raised and peaceful coexistence among Nigerians. Is Malami telling the people therefore that the Oni at a time wouldn't have made mention of proactive steps to be taken by the region in supplementing the system that is failing? While the branding and furnishing of the security was on, I mean the preparations didn't just came out of the blue in one day and suddenly we have an Amotekun. The police and other governmental parastatals didn't see it that suddenly the people from the north mostly see this as a threat. Having gone through recent developments and the way the network is going, I must admit, as well as everyone, to believe that the northwest, northeast, and southwest would definitely come up with their own version of Amotekun, pending the federal government claim that it's still assessing and the coordination of the group. Now, let it assert some of reasons why the northern people are so hell-bent in the devolution of the newly recruited security of the West, even though currently their cries are just poor to overpower the knowledge of the West. I must say strongly that the fear of separation is the main reason why the northern cries is so loud. Nigeria may be bounded by a constitution and governed by so many laws that we even forget to remember some, simply because we are a group of people with laws but no practices, especially if you are among the 10% rich in the country. When various believe as well as evidence record in North always and most times believe that with their helpless and massive population, it is their right to always rule, and therefore needless to understand the true meaning of democracy and federalism. Therefore, the beginning of regional government is also a crack to their power struggle. But let us proudly remind them that overpopulation without education to back it will disrupt its neighbors of their personal growth as well. But once the governors of the West as well as the East have seen through the lens, it is therefore not compulsory. They strongly fight resolutely for power and at the center. Another reason for their noise is from the perspective of Biafra gaining more agitating ground. Considering the level of Biafran agitation in recent memory, it is a logical truth that the successful birth of Amotekun will span the growth of a new security group from the east. And this will, in one way or the other, harbor many youth with the Biafran blood, safeguarding the interests of the Igbo nation. With this, an era of punish at sight I foreseen, especially with the form of relationship between these two. No love lost, and as such, the very foundation that justifies the northern claim of ruling without moving the country forward would be limited. Repatriation of the uncontrolled northern people across developing regions would be limited. That alone is one of their fears. If we look at the country today, the tribe with most immigrants are the northern people, irrespective of how bounded we are as one family. And this true is they don't come into this state with a mindset to develop them. They always come with the mindset of domination and conquest. Locally, those of us of Lower Keda can testify to this. A good example is Lagos, for example, often tagged wrongly as land of nobody. One out of every bike man arrested for evading law is an Hausa or Fulani man. That doesn't mean there are no Igbos or Yorubas among lawbreakers. But if one out of every three is from the northern parts of the country, then how about or offense punishable by law that aren't mentioned, yet committed by them in the name of one country? Now, if Amotekun start with full force as expected and as fast as the East in their quest for development are quasi the same, I can gallantly tell you many Fulani or Hausas, especially those with lawlessness, would not be sent back home but would definitely walk home by themselves. This is one of their troubles. Many a time when I listen to Mr. Jimidisu speaks, he would always say, this country is a conspiracy. My point of reference to that statement is this: we have an educated vice president, senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN, yet nothing has come of whatsoever from them, not even from top politicers. They are only trying to treat safely, which one more time gives me the feeling that these people are all aware of it all. It is just a sad scenario that the center no longer can hold. I sincerely know too well, if the system works, there will be no need for any regional-based security. While there's even much to discuss concerning the financial basis and payment structure of the network, our concern suddenly should be switched to the surprise discount from the direction, opposing direction. And why there is yet any official statement from the government at the center, all opinion from anyone is just their self-expression. But when it's desperately negative, then there are hidden secrets in such moves. If there was standard education for the Nigerian masses, employment opportunities, and the environment to sustainable growth, the need for security measures will be limited. But since these social amenities are off the thought of the Nigerian rulers, the only thing we would continue to put our thoughts into is the security of the scarce life and properties of ourselves. Why there seems to be no difference in the modus operandi of the Amotekun and other recognized regional security, even in the north, much eyebrows have been raised concerning the latest, and more importantly is the fact that two opposing sides are in the wake of it all. While the West have tossed that the North is against it, the East support it. Both have their interest to pursue. One is chasing self-freedom, which encourages self-belief in self-growth. The other continuously harbor in the sweat of the other, and by nook or crook, we do everything within its power to keep hold of what it does not possess. The West have kickstart something positive, let the North do the same, or aren't they tired of Esme attack, banditry, and other menace crippling their progress structurally, education-wise, and even governmentally? Of what use is the population that yield more poverty when you have all it takes to develop? On the basis of whoever's opinion is against the success of any region, to hell with such person. Let us not forget that a failed governmental process can't stop the choice of the masses, Amotekun included. Regional security is a response to the failed security system. So guys, you've heard a submission of this writer, and someone says, Amotekun the end to northern bragado. If Amotekun is illegal, how legal is similar everywhere? Please explain. The country belongs to all. And if the constitution is to look holes hidden all this illegal thing, let's doctor to it to suit our need. I don't understand what this person is saying. No, not fears Amotekun because of their evil ways. Killing and kidnapping is their only obligations. They are Boko Haram terrorists, 85% of them all. I don't understand illegal people protecting themselves when the government have failed them is illegal. Civilians were carrying guns in Zamfara in order to protect themselves from criminal elements. Nobody said they were illegal. And someone is the opinion that the writer has said it all. Things are falling apart because the center cannot hold and life is no longer at ease. Indulging in fairy tales is counterproductive. And someone say Amotekun is illegal. Period. And someone says how illegal it is. What about JTF in the north? This country will soon divide and everyone will go his way. Enough of this choking marriage. Someone say animal, your people indulging in killing and maiming is justified. So how Amotekun is illegal? We have all those security outfits in the north and they are not illegal. You know, this hypocrisy is something else. And I think it's beginning to get clearer to everybody that some people are somewhere don't really mean well for this country. Even at the center, you could see the handwriting all over the place. So guys, let's hear your take concerning the reason why you think that the northerners are afraid of this Amotekun. Why is it their business? Why all of a sudden all of them, all the groups coming out from the same region going against it? There's something wrong somewhere. Let's hear your take. Thank you.